Looking out for that as we get into the series, which we will be seeing from the beginning here. I do think that Method will probably take this 2-0, even though we have been seeing a couple of games going to the unfavored team. Method are just so good right now, and if they don't choke, they've definitely got this.
Yep, and that is the case of us being at this LAN environment. Remember, Method did not quite manage to get themselves into the Season 3 Grand Finals, which we did have in LA, but they do find themselves here, and they are against the group of Skywalkers, more or less, for this series.
Skywalker family.
The Skywalker family. We'll be addressing them by their first name, otherwise if we just say Skywalker, it can get very confusing very quickly.
Certainly. So far, it has been the Skywalker family who are out-pressuring Method. I don't think that this will be too worrisome to the Method boys, as they look pretty comfortably situated at the back. They're all ready with their boost. They're all spread out, covering all sorts of angles. And a good shot, oh my word, a lot from the ground. We're not used to seeing him on the ground, but he can play from here, as he's just shown us. Decides to go for the net, and why not when it's this free in front of the box?
Yeah, Metsunaris just puts his car in the way. And when two cars come together, physics comes into play, and that is where the ball ended up ricocheting straight out into the oncoming path of a lot. And they've put themselves up by 1 goal within the opening minute, and that's something we have seen a lot of times so far throughout this tournament, of just these high-level teams getting leads nice and early.
Bob's Beans got their work cut out for them. I really do love that team name. It's phenomenal. But they're going to have to do more than pick a funny name if they want to take down Method. Although I'm sure that it did get a giggle or two from the Method lads. Hopefully we'll get to talk to them later. I swear that's not caster bias though. I'm not saying that we want the winners interview with Method. Not at all. They are great guys. All of them stream on Twitch fairly regularly, so be sure to check them out whenever you're navigating through the Rocket League streams during the early afternoon here in Europe, or the early morning in North America, as is currently, I believe.
So Method getting a lot of time in this final third of Bob's Beans, who are struggling to put together the sequence required to get it out, either down to low boost or the simple fact that they've got everyone sat towards the goal line, so no one can get the second touch to take it away from any oncoming Method players who want to keep it in that final third. You can see the good rotations coming out from Method, just constantly putting it back in. Almost managed to put straight back down by a lot, who used that wall to just slam it back to the floor for the dribble. Almost up to halfway through this game. And Method, despite only being 1 goal up, look really, really in control of the field.
Oh, looking imperious. They love to rotate very, very deep for boost. They don't often turn early at the midfield if the mid boost isn't there. As we see Magnus taking a wide line all the way back. But they know that this is a favorite strategy for each of their members, so the others can play accordingly. Make sure to give space for people to move in. Very intuitive rotation though. Every time they're retreating out of attack, they're going away from the ball, making plenty space for the third man to move in. So far, it's been working wonderfully. Method not been threatened at all by any of the Bob's Beans attack attempts, and another shot nearly creeping into the net. Rebound also going astray though for Method.
Yeah, Bob's Beans still stuck in this final third. The heat map would be very red on the orange side. As they continue, they are just struggling so much. I want to see them leave someone towards the middle ground of the field, so that way they can try and power it away when the ball hits the floor.
Could be uncontested.
That is going to be just straight down to the middle, but no one going for it. Metsunaris is going to flick it into the air, and a lot will be beaten, so Magnus has to deal with this. That is a really poor touch from him. Shot towards the net, but it hits the post. And that was a huge chance for Bob's Beans, their first major opportunity of the game so far.
Magnus almost punished for getting ahead of himself there. He did not give himself enough time to slow down and jump at the right trajectory for that ball. All he was able to do is dump it center instead of clearing it to the side like we're more used to seeing. This is causing chaos now. A bit of a panic. Magnus bumping his teammate in defense now. He's out of boost. This certainly has rattled Method. They're no longer in this controlled rotation with everybody being on full boost. That hard clear from Magnus will come as a huge relief to try and get things back on track for them.
Oh, and that's big right there, because Bob's Beans needed to control the middle boost. That is what is
bad
now
news.
going to allow Method to move themselves forward, but well played to cut across the pass. Now Borge tries to put it up high, but whenever you're on that side of the wall, You're always capable of reacting. That is going to be a lot coming in. Cannot turn it in. But 20 seconds remaining, and it's Bob's Beans that have all of the work to do. And they need to start it off by winning the ball. That is not going to happen right there.
Oh,
13 seconds
1v1.
now. Goes all the way up high.
Is good.
Oh, what a great save indeed. Metzenaris gets it straight over to the side, looking for a lot, who doesn't have the boost, but he does have the rear end to launch it away. Method take game one with a 1-0 as soon as this ball touches the floor, which it hasn't just yet.
Hold on.
They're taking up that wall as well. We mentioned it last game, just what players try to do to keep it away from the floor. But Method take the win.
Not as comfortable as we expected. After the 1-0 lead, they did look to be in control, but that near miss, or nearly a miss on the goal line, his own goal line from Magnus, gave that opportunity for the tie game, which was denied by the upright. The post came into play. Magnus will be trying not to make that same mistake again. There's Metzenaris sitting on the right-hand side for Method on stage. I'm sure that they will want to perform much better in game two, because this is not only a game that they want to be winning, but they want to be winning comfortably, as they'll be facing much tougher competition later on in the tournament where they want to be.
Especially with Infused in that last series taking that comfortable win in game number 2. I would honestly rate Survivors as well as Bob's Beans roughly the same level.
Yeah, I could see that.
So
I could definitely see that.
It's making a statement to these other teams in the tournament that you are at this level. And considering many players, many analysts would expect Method to be above Infused, they need to start stepping up here.
Their consistency online has brought them all of these fans, and all of the analysts who I've heard speaking about this game, all the pro players that I've heard rank the teams would certainly put Method in the conversation for the title here. And Infused, with their inconsistencies online, don't make that conversation. But like you said, from what we've seen today, Infused looked like the more threatening team, courtesy of Bluey. No one really stepped up for Method just yet, putting on a solo performance like the youngster from England did in the previous series on stream. But there's still plenty time to go. That was only the first time we've seen them. And I'm certainly looking to Metzenaris still as the player to watch for this Method lineup, although Big Linus a lot was the carry for the last game.
Well, Bob's done a very good job of taking this up the wall. He tried to go for the cutting infield pass, but a slight twist to the left from the player he was trying to pass to means that there will be no opportunity. Just a little bit twitchy on the analog stick. As Method almost managed to find it, and they do, straight from the crossbar down into the net.
Yeah, that was
and
a
Method,
clinger.
Early lead yet again.
Magnus finds the top corner. Bar down and in this time. We've been seeing a lot of bar down and out shots, but this one is in after the crossbar comes into play. That's really important for Magnus, because if there was one player who did look shaky in their famous series against Flipside Tactics, where they only lost by a single game in that best of 7 to qualify for RLCS Season 3, Magnus was looking shaky, not really finding a way into the game, but this is big for him. Getting a goal on stage can settle nerves like nothing else.
Oh, if that pass could have come across as I'm sure they intended, then that would have been big. Free open space on that right-hand side of the blue goal. And that's going to be slowly trickling towards it, but a lot can take this up the side of the wall, wants to try and take it past the challenging player, but he cannot. Just over a minute and 20 seconds through this second game, where if Method can take it, they will go through to the next round. But a lot more active time in this blue half at the start of this game than we saw during the previous one. Bob's Beans seem to be growing into this a lot more with every second that seems to go past.
I'm surprised that we haven't seen more cheating upfield from Method, looking to make those runs offensively and then receive passes and go for the cherry picker move. That is something that they're exceptionally good at, one of the best counter-attacking teams in the world, but we haven't really been able to see that, as they're not happy to just sit back and let Bob's Beans come at them. They're challenging much earlier, and they're turning back at the defense much earlier. They're not spending a long time upfield like that. Could have been a pass to the center. Instead, a lot going for the goal himself in a situation where it was probably being saved the majority of the time.
Yeah, but there was no reactions either by Bob's Beans, and that
Nicely
means
done.
that I believe Method have spotted a weakness. This backboard is unprotected.
Yeah, Metza got the boost steal there, and he knows that he's going to win the race to the ball, because Pure Skywalker underneath him. Has no boost left. Still good speed by Metza. He didn't bring his helicopter hat with him. For those of you who have seen his stream, he does love to wear that. I wonder if he'd be surprised if he didn't bring it with him to the venue. Quite a famous piece of attire for his Twitch viewers. I'm sure you'll all be aware of that.
So Method, 2 goals to the better right now. Already looking a little bit stronger than they did during the last series, where they held the ball for a considerable amount of time but struggled to create their own opportunities. As now Bob is going to get that one set up, but Metzenaris is placed himself directly underneath the ball and launches himself up like a rocket. There's an opportunity now for a lot, but that boost got stolen away from him. He can still continue to play it, but doesn't get the correct contact, will not get it to ricochet off that wall, and there will be no follow-up.
Yeah, he wanted the doink to the center there. Was unable to get it. Difficult to do that with no boost, as he had to jump very, very early. Oh, and we're stuck in an own goal forced by Bob. Maybe the comeback beginning for Bob's Beans. It's a good trap. He completely faked out the defender of Method, and Metzenaris was not able to get the post pinch either. Nothing but an own goal to be seen in that situation. They're looking very happy with that goal. They still need one more and a game after that if they want to take the series here.
The performance from Bob's Beans certainly has not been bad at all. As they continue to start pushing forward 2 players, they spent a lot of game 1 only sending 1 player towards the other side of the field, which usually means that you can't really get that much in terms of offense. Magnus launches himself across the side of the field. 1 goal separates these 2 teams. A minute and 15 seconds remaining. But no follow-up because Bönor Skywalker wants to just try and leave himself. That is not going to be doing enough, though. There's a pass, but immediately intercepted. And now Bob's Beans can try and move themselves forward. But because Magnus was on the back rotation, he can push it back towards his net, push it up the wall, and end up being somewhat safe. As we head towards the final 30 seconds, Bob's Beans need to find something here. As Magnus will find Metzenaris.
Okay, he's going up with it.
And that is going to be too high to do anything, and there is a demo on Magnus. Going to mean a lot has to try and move himself forward in the rotation. As more and more time is ticking away. Bob's Beans struggling to find anything to get through on. That pinch might end up being useful, but no, Metzenaris always back on the rotation. Method, as you mentioned earlier, always going all the way back to that back boost, and that means that they are always ready for any clearance that comes towards them.
I'm still surprised that we've not seen more passing plays out of Method, the downfield passing plays. They're using the backboard quite well. That was actually a good clear, but read by Magnus. They do look like they're going to take this game in 2-1 and take the series 2-0. Should the ball hit the floor, still in this exact same position, it stays alive, but only for so long. A Method will take it 2-0 over there. Right, fairly impressive.